Well, I'm John Jones. I'm a 75-year-old immigrant from the UK. I'm an original £10 tourist. I started painting when I was a kid, and I was fortunate that to be identified as having ability. And in Birmingham, where I came from, there was a school that you could go to with the 11 plus. You did another exam, and you went into the Moseley Art School. And each year, 17 boys and 17 girls went there. So it was quite an achievement to get in. And then for the next, however long it was, second year, sixth I went to, we did basically 6 subjects of art and 2 were called general subjects. So it wasn't a very all-round education, but it did get you involved in art, and that's how my interest started. From then, I left school and worked briefly in advertising agencies. And then Pauline and I got married, and when we were in our very early 20s, we came out to Australia. Once you get to Australia, it took a long time to realise you're in a foreign country. So you're desperately trying to acclimatise yourself. Art was a distance. It didn't get a mention. You're trying to settle yourself. You're trying to get somewhere to live. Got to get a job. We arrived in May in Sydney, middle of winter, and all I wanted to do was sit on the beach. We were the only people on the beach. Everybody said, "You're mad. Wait till October," and then October came. So we settled down. It was very difficult. You were so homesick, Pauline especially. We were fortunate that I got a job with an airline, which I stayed with then for the next 30 odd years. So my career became a career in aviation, specifically operations and flight operations and operational control. And I eventually worked my way up to be the manager of the Integrated Ops Centre. We set up this huge Qantas, can I say Qantas? This huge Qantas Ops Centre where we ran both the domestic and the international airlines. Very, very difficult place to work. Not everybody could do it. Not everybody can make a decision. And it was fantastic, but art was nowhere in it. Go on.
Yeah, no, it's very, very, I guess, separated from art.
Oh yeah, completely, utterly. It was creative in a way, because my job, before I became the head of this centre, was I was one of the duty managers in the ops centre. If anything went wrong, it was your job to fix it. So you basically had carte blanche to fix. You'd got 150 aeroplanes domestically and internationally, and you were manipulating and talking and negotiating with all the parts of the airline that go up to make it work, until finally a decision was made. And that in itself was creative, getting the decision made and then getting people involved and working towards that decision. It's a job I loved, until it was a job I didn't love, and it became so stressful. And towards the end of my career, I started life drawing again, which I hadn't done properly for 35 years. So I started life drawing with a couple of different groups, and I became quite slick at life drawing. I still wasn't painting. I just thought I could paint, but I hadn't painted for 50 years. And eventually a review was done of the business. One of the business consultancies came through, and I saw an opportunity to get away from the very stressful environment. And I started looking for options. If I was able to get out and we could afford it, the pair of us, then I wanted to go to art school. So I applied in the TAFE system in New South Wales, and I got a place on an advanced diploma in fine arts.
How old were you at this point?
57. So I went to art school. There were about 6 mature age students, and there were 18-year-old girls and boys, mostly girls. If any boys were there, they didn't know what they wanted to do. So art was, we'll do art. But the mature age students took it far more seriously. And because it was a second opportunity for us. And I can remember I've still got the first painting I did. And it was it was an absolute revelation. It really was. And we had good teachers. They were professional artists, well known in Sydney, and they could communicate. And I got into it for 2 years. I was absolutely painting at home, going in extra days, painting this. And I said I was 57. We had no income, but because I had managed my way out of Qantas, we had enough money to last us until I hit 60, when I could access my super. And I've basically been painting ever since. And it wasn't just painting. It was going in the dark room. It was photography. It was sculpture. It was life drawing again, which I loved. And interestingly, most of the kids couldn't draw. They were very creative mentally. And they had good ideas that I don't have much of an imagination, but they have vivid imagination, or they would do stencil paintings and things like that. But myself and the other mature age people in the main could draw. So we go into the life drawing classes and we'd knock out all these life drawings and you'd throw them on the floor. And at the end of the thing, you'd think, well, I'll keep those and I'll put those in the big, I'll keep those and I'll put the others in the big garbage bin. So I used to just throw them in the garbage bin. And then after a while, I realised these kids are climbing in the bin. And they were souveniring some of the stuff, which I was, I was sort of, oh, that's nice. Why don't you just ask me? So up until, I was still life drawing up until last year, when the age takes over and it becomes very painful. I will probably, if I can, go back to it. There's a couple of life drawing groups on the coast up here that I go to with some really talented people. And a lot of those are painters, so I can talk to them about painting. So, but through all that time, I've been painting. And I still paint, as you can see behind me. I've still got to have a canvas on the go. Whether it's any good or not, I don't know. That's it. Well, I've always been, my drawings and paintings are draftsman-like, I'm interested in detail. I set out not to be. I set out to broad colours and lots of colours, and the brushes get smaller and smaller and smaller. And in the end, I'm putting more and more detail in it. But I never intended to be like that. My influences, I love the Impressionists. I love the Californian school of abstract landscape painters. Diebenkorn, I think, was absolutely brilliant. And I've tried to do that, but I can't do it. So I revert to the way I paint. Mm-hmm. I use a lot of photographs. I'll go out, take photographs. I've tried plein air painting, but people standing over your shoulder saying, that's not like that, mate. That's a bit hard to take. I go out drawing sometimes with drawing groups, and in a group that's fine, but I struggle with people giving you instant criticism of you. Are you trying hard here? So my stuff, I like to use colour, but detail and accuracy, and a little bit of humour if I can. I like to put humour into some of the paintings. I paint my mates from playing golf. They think they're great. So one of the paintings in the exhibition is called Waiting at the 12th, and it's three friends sitting waiting for the group in front, because we're always waiting on the 12th. So that's what that's called. So it's probably got more and more detailed as I got older. But when your eyes, as they always do, start to go, then the detail goes a little bit. But I still struggle with the imagination, but I can paint what I see. I love modern art. I love contemporary art. I love looking at. I love to see how they do it. I love to get close up, particularly paintings. But to do it myself, I struggle enormously with it. It's techniques I don't know. I've tried. Not everybody can do it. I've spoken to people say, "I paint. I paint modern art." I said, "Can you draw?" And inevitably, they can't draw, but they can put colours on a canvas, and there is a difference, I think. This is my first ever solo exhibition, and probably my last ever solo exhibition. I had to be persuaded to do it. It all occurred because I'm involved in U3A. We were having dinner with somebody. She said, "What are your interests?" And I said, "I draw and paint, and I play golf, lots of golf." And she said, "Well, can I come and have a look at your paintings?" So she came up to the house, spent a couple of hours there, took lots of photographs, and she was really getting excited about my paintings, which was lovely. And then she was responsible for the U3A website, and she did over 3 weeks. She did 3 different articles about me in this website, and I got some great feedback from that. And then she asked if we'd be interested in an exhibition, a group exhibition, which we couldn't organise, and that was going to be with the U3A tutors. And I said, it fell through, and I sort of forgot all about it. But then she contacted me and said, "Well, look, there's an opportunity here with Maroochydore Library. We've got an art space." So she said, "Come on, we'll go and have a look." So we went into the library, went upstairs, saw what a nice space it was. She even got me the form to fill in. So I then applied and sent some images off, and I got a very quick response saying, "Yes, we'd love you to do it." Initially, it was for February, but the December person pulled out, so we agreed, yeah, we'll get it ready for December. It's been a fantastic experience. The help we got from Rachel in the Caloundra Regional Gallery was fantastic. I was amazed at how professional the whole thing was. I certainly wasn't expecting that. Right down to the labels being printed and everything, and the blurb about me. That was lovely. That was a highlight, and the amount of people that turned up, it was terrific. And it hasn't been as daunting as I thought. We've been back 2 or 3 times because I've left cards there, and the cards are disappearing. So as people are taking the cards, that's nice. I've got business cards with my details. The other thing that came from it is I've got a website now on, I don't know what it's called, one of the...
Is it Instagram?
Instagram, that's it, yes, Instagram. And I've got a few followers on that, and people from the past have seen them. People I used to work with have commented to me. There's been an ad on the local radio station, and I've had phone calls. "Are you the same John Jones that I'm hearing about?" And we had a phone call from a friend in Sydney who has a friend whose son lives down at Biwa, and he said he rang his father, who rang my friend, who rang me, to say, "Has John Jones got an exhibition?" So that's been great. It's been terrific. The thing, we had to take all the paintings off the wall, but I've got so many paintings, we just put a whole stack of others up. What happens to the paintings now? They'll all come back home. We've sold one. Well, I actually sold 2. There was one that wasn't in there that somebody offered me money for, which was nice, which I forgot I'd gotten. So that's nice. It's been a terrific experience, the whole exhibition thing. Okay, I'm fortunate that I've always had an ability to draw, and I've always had an eye that can see something that is visually exciting and is worth putting on canvas or putting on paper. When I retired from work and decided to go into the TAFE system and do this diploma, it struck me that so many people retire without a plan. So we had a plan. I mean, my plan was for 12 months, if I can get out, I'm going to do this. And Pauline agreed that yes, we can survive, because it's a dual thing. It's a partnership. That's the word. My argument is, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I had that a little bit of innate experience, but I've shown people in Sydney, and I've shown people here what to do, how to do it, how to make it, how to improve things. Only paint what you see, not what you think's there. Particularly most people, especially when they're drawing, if you ask them to draw a face, they draw like a child, because they don't actually look at the face. So all I'm trying to do is, how many other people can I get involved in doing this? How many other people to stop them basically vegetating when they retire? You're a long time retired these days with all the medical benefits that go on. You can't just sit. If you sit, if your hearing goes, you're isolated. You isolate yourself. You don't see people. You stop going out. You've got to challenge yourself, and it's not just painting. It's any interest. You've got to challenge yourself to find something different to do. Otherwise, you're a long time bored. And if for me, if you've got a couple of canvases, I've always got something to do. So I've always got canvases waiting to go. I've no idea what I'm going to put on them, but it's I sit down and all of a sudden 3 hours has gone and I've got a cold cup of tea. Yes, for me it's to try and influence other older people to basically challenge yourself. We've all got skills. Take those skills and develop them. Even if things like wood turning. My son's father-in-law, he suddenly started wood turning. And it's a great thing, because you suddenly get this interest, and you actually start growing younger. You stay mentally alert. You don't just sit doing nothing. It's so easy to do. Yeah. Everybody can. Yeah. It's not hard. You need a pencil and a piece of paper, or better still, a piece of charcoal and a piece of paper, and just make marks. And don't be so, it gets you out of yourself. It stops you being so introverted, And if you're lucky enough to be in a group environment while you're doing it, you get feedback, and you improve. Not that you necessarily do it to improve, but you can actually improve. You can teach an old dog new tricks, The heat's an issue up here, because I sit in here, and I can't use oils anymore because of the effect it has on my skin. So I'm careful where I open the whole thing up, so I get some airflow. I try and paint probably 3 or 4 times a week. I'll sit and draw, even if it's just doodling. I'll continue to paint. I won't stop painting, even though the price of canvases and the price of paint's going through the roof. So that's one of the benefits of this. If I sell something, then I can go and buy more canvases and more paints and things like that. But I'll keep going, definitely. My grandkids love it. My kids love it. They can come here, They're very proud of the fact that Dad and Granddad has got this exhibition. They tell all their mates, my granddad's done all this. So, for me, that's another bonus, that they can see that there is a future. I love looking at. I love to see how they do it. I love to get close up, particularly paintings. But to do it myself, I struggle enormously with it. It's techniques I don't know. I've tried. Not everybody can do it. I've spoken to people say, I paint modern art. I said, can you draw? And inevitably, they can't draw, but they can put colours on a canvas, and there is a difference, I think.
Different skills, but
yes,
same outcome.
Yes,
it's your
it's your art. Yeah. It's what you enjoy.
Mm-hmm. So the solo exhibition.
Yes.
Is that the first solo exhibition? Tell us a little bit about this.
Oh gosh, yes, the solo exhibition. I'm involved with U3A. I do things with U3A, and we were at dinner with a group, and one of the ladies sitting there, who actually looks after the website for U3A, she said, "What are your interests apart from? I know you play golf." She said, "What are your interests?" I said, "Oh, I draw and paint." She said, "Oh, can I come and have a look at your stuff?" I said, "Yeah, if you want." So she came. We were living up in Budrum then. She came and had a look, and she was there for 3 hours taking photographs, and she was saying, "Oh, these are brilliant, these are brilliant." And then she wrote something which appeared on the U3A website, which got quite a reaction. So it was great, lovely. It was nice to get a bit of reaction to what I do. And then she said, "Would you be interested in if we can get an exhibition at the uni? They've got a great gallery down there." I said, "Oh yeah." She said we could do it with the tutors, but that never eventuated. Getting in there was difficult. But she kept on, and I eventually gave way, and I said, "Yeah, if we can get something, I don't want to pay if I can help it." So she told me about the opportunity at the Maroochydore Library. So she said there's an application. She got the form for me, so I filled the form in, sent it off, sent some images, and I got an immediate response, which was absolutely gratifying, saying, "Yes, we'd love to see your stuff." So so I agreed to it. We went ahead. We were going to do it we got the date in February,